friends. Well, it happened again to me last night. I was pulled over and detained by a couple of cops, and this happened in the Joshua Tree National Park. So I was dealing with some federal officers last night, National Park Service. But before we review that, I would first like to reiterate what I have been emphasizing for a long time now, and that is citizens unite. In this day and age, as the cops like to say, in this day and age, there are a whole hell of a lot of corrupt and tyrannical cops out there who will rape you of your rights if you allow them to, and they will ruin your lives, all for their efforts to try to earn a stripe on their sleeve. As I've learned from my personal experiences, to protect yourself against corrupt cops, there are two tools that you need. One, recording devices. Recording devices that will capture both video and audio. Cops will lie to you, but cameras don't. The Supreme Court has ruled that it's okay for cops to lie to you, but if you lie to the cops, then you can be arrested for it. So cameras keep cops accountable. Try saying that fast 3 times. Cameras keep cops accountable. The other tool that you need is knowledge of the law, because most cops are aware that most citizens don't know the laws too well, so they will constantly lie to you. They will give you all kinds of unlawful orders. They will use that to your advantage, your lack of knowledge on the law. So as long as you have some recording devices, always record the police from the second you are encountered. Record every moment of it. And if you record the police and you have knowledge on the law, you'll be home that night. So, as many of you who know me are aware, several years ago, I've had some really bad encounters with cops over the years, but several years ago, one happened in Texas where I ended up, I was pulled over, and then my car got searched, and then I was hauled off to jail, and my car got towed away, and then the next day when I got out, I had to hitchhike back to my car and pay thousands of dollars in attorney fees, and it was a big nightmare, and I told myself I never want to go through that again, and I realized from that experience that if I had had those two tools, things would have gone a whole lot different. So I quickly armed myself with each. I went out and bought a cheap $30 dash cam, and I've had one ever since. I've gone through a few of them, but I always record with not only my dash cam, but with my cell phone camera as well, as you'll see. But that and knowledge of the law that I've gathered since then, and it seems like about every couple of years or so I'll get pulled over. It's happened a few times since then, and each time the video has proven that cameras keep cops accountable. Whatever little fishing expedition they're on, trying to turn a small traffic infraction into a major crime, well, their fishing is quickly aborted once they see that they're being recorded, once they're aware of that. In fact, oftentimes when cops know that they're being recorded, they don't want anything to do with you. A lot of times you'll be sent on your way quickly. So, let's take a look at this, and then afterwards I will grade each of the participants, including myself. Pulled over. Let's see what this is about.
Roll down all the windows?
We're good.
Would you roll down all the windows?
No, sir. For my own safety.
Do you have any weapons in this vehicle?
I'm not answering any questions, but no.
Okay, I do need to see your ID. We've been behind you for a little bit watching you driving.
Okay.
Speeding, running stop signs.
Really? What?
Yes, sir.
Well, I've got my video rolling, so I'll have to look at all that.
Got me on that one.
Huh?
Running stop sign. But,
Okay, so within the first minute, this officer has given me unlawful orders, and I've already caught him lying to me. By the way, while I'm preoccupied with this cop out my driver window, unbeknownst to me, there's another cop at my passenger window who's searching through my car with his flashlight.
yeah, so watching driving behavior like that, there's a couple questions that always come to mind. You're not under the influence of any alcohol or drugs?
No.
Haven't had anything to drink tonight?
I'm not answering any questions, but I mean, one question leads to 20, but no, I'm perfectly legal, let's put it that way.
Gotcha. All right, go ahead and sit tight.
Oh, no, he was shining his light through this. What the hell? We got two of them there.
Hi, sir. I'm Rob, National Park Service.
Hello, Rob.
How are you?
Good.
How's the night so far? Everything all right? Why not? Same here. A little bit chilly. A little bit chilly, that's for sure. Oh, I'll wave. Hi. How you doing?
There we go. That one picks up a little better. Well,
Pardon, I couldn't hear you, sir.
it's hard to remount that thing. There we go. All right.
Can I help you? Hey, how you doing?
In case you're wondering, I've had very bad encounters with corrupt tyrant cops in the past where I learned.
I understand.
I said, you know, I mean, they always say, we got our cameras going. Well, when it's used against them, it gets lost. So.
Yeah, it's all good.
Right.
You got cameras, we got cameras.
It's all accountability. That's all it's about.
I respect it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a good cop right there by that attitude. A good cop doesn't mind being recorded.
No, it's like public side, right?
There you go.
It's supposed to be doing so. No, I appreciate you. Yeah, I worked in prisons for a long time in New York. Worked in D.C. as an officer for a few years before I came out here recently, and came out here to proverbially ride off into the sunset out here because it's more relaxed here. You know what I mean? Over the years of my law enforcement career, particularly in the prisons, and as it's translated to the streets and out here too on encounters with folks in a law enforcement capacity, I never fault anybody for how they feel about the uniform that I wear and what they feel it represents. I never take that personally, and I understand and empathize with people, even though I'm not in a situation. Like right now, I've been stopped by the police in the past, but I'm not in your position right now. I'm on the other side of that.
Right.
And so, how you feel about a certain situation based on prior encounters, I can certainly empathize with that. I don't understand because I'm not in that position,
Right.
but I'm certainly willing to listen to folks who have,
Well, here's what I've learned.
So, yeah.
The best defense against bad cops is knowledge of the law.
Sure.
So now when this guy asked me to roll down all my windows, I know that's not a lawful order. So I said no. Not that I want to be confrontational.
Oh, sure, but for your safety and his. You
Right.
asked that. You don't have to do it.
Right.
Right?
And then they say, well, I smelled some drugs because there was a draft going through and blah, blah, blah. And there's no such, I mean, it's like, You see, I'm calling his shot here. I just described exactly what I know would have happened had I followed his unlawful order to roll down all of my windows. I knew where that was going. When it comes to getting probable cause to search a vehicle, they always use that I smell marijuana because smell is the one thing that cameras can't capture. They can capture vision and they can capture sound. So,
Well, marijuana never sang to me, I'll tell you that.
Right.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
it's just, like I said, I've had bad encounters with bad cops before, so I just learned for my own protection, for my own safety, and if they're a good cop, they understand. So.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah. I see. Never anything personal,
There
It's
you
not
go.
from me, for sure. I'm not shining this light in your eye too much.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'm just curious. He took my license, but he didn't ask for my insurance or registration or anything. So I guess he's just going to run me for warrants.
If you have the registration, are you not grabbing that for me, please? If you didn't get it?
See, now that I said something.
Oh, I didn't hear it over there. Yeah, if you got it, I appreciate you.
There's my insurance.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And
Reg?
that's trailer. That's something different.
Oh,
Vehicle, yeah, there's vehicle.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Corbin?
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I'm Rob.
Rob, okay. You're with the NPS?
10-4.
Yes, sir.
I prefer being called the first name as well. Call me Officer Wellstead. I go by first name. It's easier.
Wellstead?
Yes, sir.
I got to give him credit here. Officer Wellstead identified himself without my asking
Well,
him. I'm out here all the time. I live in 29 Palms. I do a lot of hiking and things like that. So
Best hike in the park. What do you think, in your opinion?
Right now I'm working on the California Trail, National Trail, so I'm just kind of like taking
California riding, hiking.
Right. So I just came from, I've been out riding around for a while, but the hike I did today was off of the Geology Tour Road.
I'll give you this back.
There we go.
You were saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll give you some light here.
I got on it today at the Geology Tour Road before I started, running around. But anyway, so I'm just kind of like catching a little bit of that off of main trails, here and there. So I like the Lost Horse Mine Trail. I enjoyed.
Yeah, that one's nice.
And
have you done Lost Palms Oasis on Cottonwood? Have you tried that one yet? I just did that. One of our park volunteers.
Lost Palms Oasis.
Yeah, down in Cottonwood.
Oh no, I haven't been out there yet.
So I just did that. It was a week or so ago with one of our park volunteers. He was going down there, one of our PSAR, Preventative Search and Rescue guys. It's on the trail, so he frequents it, and he invited me to come down with him, so I joined him, and I'm glad I did. We went down in the morning. It was about 8 in the morning when we hit the trailhead down there. Passed one person on the way. It was about 7 miles round trip, I'd say, there out and back. It was awesome. It's amazing. One of the things I love about this park and in that part of the park in particular is it's like different planets in every little spot.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been out there yet. I've got it. I got it on my agenda though. Once I hike all these trails, I'm heading out there.
Yeah, if you get a chance, I recommend that. That was my personal favorite from the hikes that I've done here. I love
Cool.
Just out there. It was a nice place. We sat back, ate lunch back there, hung out for about a half an hour. At the end, I should say, where you turn around, ate lunch, took some photos. It was pretty serene out there. It was nice. As you know from your experiences hiking here too, I'm sure you find many places around here where you can just be by yourself.
Well, that's why I do it. Yeah, a lot of good time to think.
Yeah, which is never a bad thing.
I hiked.
Warm up for a minute. I'll leave you by your seat. You can roll up the window if you want. I know it's cold, so I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you.
Sure.
Thank you.
I didn't have my dash camera on until he pulled me over. But when I told him I'll have to check my camera about running a bunch of stop signs, and he said, "Well, you got me there." Yeah, see, this is why I couldn't argue his claim that I ran a stop sign, is because I wasn't rolling my dash cam like I normally do. I don't always remember to turn it on right away, and that was one of those cases. I didn't realize that it wasn't on until I was being pulled over. But I'm sure that I did what they call a California stop, where I just saw that there was no traffic coming in either direction, so I kind of slowly rolled through it. But give them an opportunity, that's all they need.
Yes, sir. First of all, I'm sorry to hear you've had negative encounters with law enforcement in the past. I hope that we can do a better job representing our profession. While we hope that we can represent as best as possible, it's still not okay to run a stop sign.
Yeah, I was going to ask now, where did I run the stop?
Back there in Hidden Valley.
I was going to say, I just came out of Hidden Valley, so maybe I didn't see one out of there.
It's that plus the speed. We were behind you doing 57 miles an hour in a 35 mile per hour zone, plus going over the double yellow, which is a little ticky-tack. But when all of this stuff adds up, you're getting just the citation for the stop sign.
Okay.
Instructions on how to take care of it, or contest it, whatever you want to do, are on the back there.
Okay.
You got any questions for me?
No, I believe in transparency, so.
That's good. I know. I respect what you're doing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
I tell him that after I caught him lying to me right away.
Great.
Pass that on.
All right.
Questions?
No,
Feel
sir.
free, otherwise, have a safe.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, I'll admit that I was speeding. I'm usually out of there before dark. There's no lights on that road, and it was past dark. I just wanted to get out of there. So the speeding and the rolling through a stop sign, I'll admit to that. But the crossing double yellow line thing, I think he's stretching it there. Well, grade-wise, the ticketing officer, Anderson, I'll give him a D. Obviously, the camera was the only thing that kept him in line. I caught him lying to me within a minute. So he proved right away that he's a liar, he's dishonest, and he's not to be trusted. And giving me unlawful orders to roll down all my windows. He is the reason. Cops like him are the reason why I record all encounters with cops. No, I'm sure that if it weren't for that camera, things would have gone a whole hell of a lot worse. So he would get an F if the camera wasn't on to capture it, but with that, he stayed in line. So at least he was smart enough to do that. So I'll give him a D. As for the officer who I engaged in conversation with, Officer Rob Wellstead, I'll give him a B. Because I did say that I didn't want to talk, but he still engaged in conversation with me. And it was all good. And, you know, he was smiling and waving to the camera and saying that he was good with that and all that, which is great. But I'm not so entirely convinced that he would have acted that way if the camera wasn't running. Because he had already searched my car with his flashlight when I was preoccupied. Yeah, so he was looking for something to arrest me on besides giving me this ticket for running a stop sign for sure. As for myself, I'll give myself a B as well. Because I am getting better. I held my ground there. I refused to allow this officer to ruin my night. But I'm still talking too much. And any attorney will tell anybody, never talk to cops. And as soon as he started asking, you know, I wanted to set him at ease when he was asking me if I have any weapons or if I've been drinking, and I kept saying, no, but I don't want to answer questions. No, I should have just said, I don't answer questions. I am invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I am under no obligation to assist you in your attempt to criminalize me, and leave it at that. Don't say another word. And you can see early on there, I was trying to just not say a word, but there's an instinct about me that will not allow me to pass up the opportunity to tell cops what I think of them, even when it's, you know, all cordial and good. And I do consider that a healthy conversation that I had with Officer Wellstead. But still, it was a conversation that shouldn't have taken place at all. I should have just not said a word and reiterated what I told him in the beginning. I don't want to talk and answer questions. So even when the conversation is casual like the one that we had, still cops are always on alert, listening and hoping that you'll slip up and say something that will initiate an arrest. And the more you talk, the more you open yourself up for that possibility. So I'll give myself a B. I'm doing a lot better, but there's still room for improvement. You know, and I don't have any problem with the ticket. I'm not going to fight it or anything like that. The whole point is, this stop could have and would have gone a whole lot worse if I wasn't armed with the camera and knowledge tools. And with that, thank you for your time. I hope you got something out of this, and happy travels.